Okay guys, so today we're going to be going over trolling for large striped bass using the lure known as the Mojo. These are the original rock candy Mojos. This is just what I've had success with. These lures actually initially gained fame and popularity down in the Chesapeake. Guys run upwards of 20 lines on these trot lines, and they've been very successful for years, decades even. But this really just kind of made its way up to the Northeast, seemingly within the last 6, 7, 8 years. It's put a lot of big fish in my boat. It's also put a lot of quantity of striped bass in my boat as well. I'll preface all this by saying this is ultimately not my favorite way of catching striped bass. I would much rather jig for them or use live bait all day long. But a lot of times when I'm in search mode or they're keyed in tight on deep bunker schools, big menhaden, this is pretty darn productive, and the big fish really seem to go after these Mojo lures. We're going to break down all the different sizes, how to rig them, and how I run them. Also guys, I also want to say conservation. This is going to put big striped bass in your boat. Those big suckers, those are breeding females. Let them go, or maybe keep one for the table. I see all these guys getting all excited about catching their over, and they're putting every guy on an over fish. Well, those are 5, 6, 7 breeding females that you just took out of the stock. So keep those 28 to 33 inch fish for the table. Let those big ones go. Treat them with respect, take a quick picture, and let them swim for another day. But let's dive into how we fish these Mojos. Guys, so on to the actual lures themselves, all right? Now they come in different shapes, sizes, and colors, all right? What I want you to do if you're brand new to this is just go out and get a couple different shapes, a couple different sizes. All you need, in my opinion, is white and chartreuse. White and chartreuse. You don't need to get nuts buying 18 different colors, at least in my opinion. If you're in the right place at the right time and your rigs are running appropriately in the right way, you're going to get bit, okay? So again, back to the lures. Now, these are the original rock candy Mojos. This is just what I've had success with. There's many of them out there, many different variations, many different companies, okay? This is the 32 ounce, all right? This is one of the heaviest ones. And you can see that here, okay? This is a basic circular head. This one's got a lot of paint chipped off. It's seen some battle. This is just from intermittently bouncing bottom, and that's okay, provided you're not snagging weeds and it's still running right, okay? Big, sturdy ring eyelet to attach your main line to. Big mustad hook, always keep that sharp. And here's your shad that attaches your trailer. I'm gonna go over how to do that and the different sizes for that as well, okay? Next down, this is the 24 ounce Mojo, all right? And you can see that monster here. This is the 24. This is chartreuse. I have this rig with a little bigger shad. Next down is the 16, okay? Again, basic circular head, big ring eyelet, big mustad hook. So 32, 24, 16. These are gonna be your lead baits, all right? We're gonna get into that a little bit later. 32, 24, 16. Again, in my opinion, all you need is white and chartreuse, okay? There are sizes between these, and you can experiment with those, but again, this is just what I've had success with, all right? Now, onto the trailing baits, 8, 6, 4 ounce, okay? This is the 8 ounce Mojo, all right? You can see this one has a little bit different head style. This is a little bit more of a bullet there, but again, same concept, all right? So this is an 8, 6, still in the package. This is a brand new one I just took out. Hopefully we're gonna actually fish tomorrow when this wind mellows finally. But this is your 6, and I'm gonna go over how to rig up the trailing shad in a second. And then this is your 4, okay? Again, a trailing bait, and this is a little bit different head here. This one's a little bit more squared off, kind of digs down a little bit more, all right? But you can experiment with different head shapes. I don't get too crazy with that, all right? So again, 32, 24, 16, that's your lead bait going down a little deeper, and then 8, 6, 4, that's gonna be your trailing bait. So On to the actual rig itself, okay? And again, this is just what I've had success with, all right? Everything is laid out here nice and organized. To be honest, I'm not the most organized person, but when it comes to rigging and fishing, I try to do the best that I can, okay? If you don't have the time or you don't really feel like rigging up your own stuff, that's okay. I love doing it. This is my passion. I also get extra satisfaction knowing that something I built and made stood up to the rigors of catching a sizable fish and was successful at drawing him in. So I like rigging it on my own, but there's no problem with buying your own stuff, okay? I have two rigs, or rig packages I should say, that I purchased, and I actually modeled my first couple lures, or rigs rather, off of these two pre-made packages. So there's nothing wrong with them. I've ran them. They work just great, all right? The very first one is made by the original Rockfish Candy brand. I bought this at Tackle Direct, which is right here local in New Jersey. This is made with 100-pound mono. The lead bait is down 5 feet, and then that trailer is 15 feet back. So that's how this one's pre-packaged. You got a big 3-way swivel there. This one is made by BFG Tackle. I believe this is also 100-pound mono. This is actually a 3-pack. Oh no, I'm sorry, this is 60-pound mono, which is fine. This is a 3-pack, and I bought this right at Bass Pro. I've used this in a pinch. It works just fine, okay? Now, to rig it on your own, what you're gonna need: pair of crimps. I have these just from rigging up all my offshore lures. The monofilament on my lead bait, I use 100-pound mono. This is Andy. You don't need fluorocarbon. This is what we call trick fish. This is 80-pound. This is just what I have laying around. Typically I do use Andy, but this is going to be for my trailer bait. So 100 for the bottom, 80 for the trailer, okay? For the 100-pound, you're going to need the 1.3 mini copper double sleeves. And then for the 80, you're going to need 1.0, okay? Now, for the actual 3-way, I use just a big 3-way swivel. This comes from Sea Striker. I believe I bought this also at Tackle Direct right here in New Jersey. I prefer black over gold just because those gold-eyed demons, bluefish, they like to trigger in on anything silver, gold. Black kind of blends in a little bit better, so I use black, okay? And then these are the actual Coast Lock snap swivels that are going to go at the end of each leader line and attached to your lure itself. This is a 120-pound. You can get away with 100 or even 80. This is just, again, what I've had success with, okay? So this is what you'll need to rig up your own rigs. This is what you can do to go ahead and just get yourself out there fishing, and I'll go through and rig one right now, okay? Okay, guys, so on to constructing one of these rigs, all right? I'm going to start with our 3-way swivel. Top, where my thumb is, that's going to go to your main line. This is going to go to your trailer line, and this is going to go to your lead bait, okay? Now, this is going to be the 100-pound mono, okay? I'm going to pull out about 5 feet of it, all right? You can measure it. I've done this 18 million times, so I already know about what 5 feet is, okay? You're going to run that through your 1.3 copper sleeve, go through one of the eyes of the 3-way swivel, just like so. Find the appropriate number on your crimp. All right, give it 2 good squeezes there. My crimper seems to want to get stuck on me lately. I don't know why. Okay. Clip off the tag. All right. Again, that's going to be to your lead bait. All right. Just about 5 feet. All right. At the end of that 5 feet, we're going to take another 1.3 crimp. Okay. Slide it onto our double crimp. And then this is going to go to our 120-pound Coast Lock. All right. Bring it through that. Find the appropriate number. Crimp it up, clip that tag in, all right? So now I have my 5-foot section of 100-pound mono. This goes to my lead line, okay? Now, again, back to the 3-way. Main line, lead line, trailing line, okay? Now onto the trailing bait. Take your 80-pound, okay? You're gonna pull off about 15 foot, all right? I'd already pre-measured this. You wanna measure it, okay? And what you're going to do, you're going to take your 1.0 mini copper sleeve, run that through. Okay. You go to the trailing spot on the three-way, run that through. You gotta bear with me, guys. My thumb, I don't have any sensation in it from an old injury, so sometimes if I'm using my left hand, it doesn't go so smooth. All right, find the appropriate number, give it a good crimp, cut the tag end. Now you go all the way to the end of that trailing bait, grab another 1.0, okay, run that through, grab another 120-pound coast lock, okay, crimp that bad boy down, you're good to go. Hey guys, so this is just attaching the shads to the actual Mojo bait. Just to remind you, a lot of people seem to overlook this, but this is going to come with a cover on the hook. Obviously make sure you remove that. All right, now what you're going to want to do is just get all the hairs pointed downward. All right, you're going to kind of push these down. This is much like if you were doing like a jig and pig style, you know, on freshwater, or you know, threading a worm on a hook on freshwater. There's nothing scientific to it. Okay, all you're going to really do is go in the head. All right, push down a little bit, and you're just going to kind of thread that shad up onto the shaft of the hook. Okay, and then hopefully you can see that, and then you're just going to go ahead and push it right out the middle. All right, see how it comes right out the middle there, and then you're going to slowly push it right up. Okay, now if you're just doing this, what you're going to want to first do is put a point exactly where the bend of that hook is coming out of that shad, and that's where you want to go ahead and aim to get your hook point coming out. I've done this so many times that I really ultimately can just estimate it. Now you can see that sucker is perfectly lined up. Okay guys, so onto the actual shad bodies that you're going to be attaching to your Mojo lures. All right, I have 3 sizes here, so 12, 9, 6 inch. Again, 12, 9, 6. I find really that's all that I need. Okay, for the most part, same as I stated prior, white chartreuse, white chartreuse. I have a couple different variations of blues and whites and some purples, but I don't get too crazy with this, and I do just fine. We put a lot of fish in the boat. Okay, so this is the original rockfish candy. This is the 12-inch shad. You can see a big sucker. All right, again, this is going to go on one of your lead baits. I got this locally at Offshore Bait and Tackle right here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. They help me out with whatever I need for inshore and offshore stuff. Okay, so check them out. This is going to be your 9-inch. All right, so this is a product from Offshore Angler. This is from Bass Pro that I got right here locally in Atlantic City. This is your 9. I have one of those pulled out. All right, you can see how enticing they can get. Here's another 9. All right, and then this is going to be a 6-inch, and this is again for the trailing baits, and this is made by Offshore Angler, also purchased right here locally at Bass Pro in Atlantic City. But again, you can find these at all your shops. Support your local tackle shops. Okay guys, so on to the actual rods and reels that you're going to need to catch big stripers on Mojos. All right, I really have 1 or 2 dedicated setups for this. We only do it for about a month and a half each fall, so I don't have that many dedicated setups that have gone out just to specifically do this. I use about 4 or 5 combos that I have, mostly for chunking for tuna, chumming for tuna, jigging for tuna, as well as some shallow water tile fish. So there's really no need to get crazy and, in my opinion, get going and spending, you know, tons of money for dedicated setups for this. You can use what you already have. Okay, the first setup, this is actually a reel that I've had since I was a teenager. My father and I won this in a catch and release shark tournament, so pretty neat. So I've had this again forever, and it works just fine to this day. This is a Penn Senator 113 HLW. I have it spooled with 40-pound Power Pro. I usually fish this in close because I can get it straight up and down with this light braid. Okay, I have tied to it just a light barrel coast lock swivel. This is probably about a 150 to 200 pound swivel. Okay, and this is a Tsunami Trophy Series rod. This is a 6.6. In the description below, I'll have links to all these rods and reels and the exact details. Okay, on to the second combo that I typically use for this. So these are the rods and reels that I use for chumming and chunking tuna, as well as tile fishing. All right, these are Penn Fathom 40s. These are lever drags. These are 2-speed models. Okay, I have killed tuna anywhere from 40 to 80 pounds with these. It's really nice fighting them on these light rods, but we're going to get into that you know, in future episodes. These Penn Fathoms are matched to Penn Carnage 2 jigging rods, and again, these have many purposes on my boat, and really this is all you need. I have these spooled with 80-pound. This is Power Pro Depth Hunter, mostly for tile fishing, and this is 80-pound Jerry Brown non-hollow core. Okay guys, so we've gone over the Mojos themselves, how to rig them, how to construct the rig. We've gone over the rods and reels that you're going to need to use to catch these big fish. All right, the wind's still blowing. Hopefully tomorrow morning we'll be out early on the water, find some fish for you, and I'll show you how to set the spread. All right, we'll see you then.